Welcome back to another video of the Pandas tutorial series. In this section, we will look at how to deal with null values. To remove a column completely from a data frame, you can use a drop function. Now say I want to remove this column from the data frame. So what I do is data.drop data frame, the column which we want to drop the data frame. Axis equal to 1 implies that we are dropping a column, and in place equal to true to remove the column from the data frame without returning us a copy. And now if we type in our data frame name, so data.info, we can see the column has been removed from our data frame. 61 columns, 60 columns. We removed this column. Another method to deal with null values is by using the fill_na function. Fill_na helps to replace null values or any values with another value. To understand it further, let's look at the number of null values in a column. To do that, we can just type in now we can see that there are 299 null values in this column. If I want to know the number of unique elements in this column, I can do that by typing in now n_unique is used to find the number of unique elements in this particular column. This tells us that there are 5 entries in this column. If I want to see these 5 unique entries, I can modify this command as unique. n_unique was to get the number of unique elements. If you type in the unique function, it will return us a unique elements from that particular column. So this now shows me the unique elements in this particular column. Now if I want to get the unique entries along with the count, I can use the value counts function. Now this returns me the unique entries along with the value count. Now that we have an idea about the column we're dealing with, we will replace the missing values with the mode, that is, the value that appears most frequently in the dataset, which in this case is this value. So what we are doing in this step is to replace all the null values in the column main branch by replacing the null values by the mode, that is the most occurring entry. Now to see if the null values are replaced, we can run the isNullSum function once again. And as we can see, all the null values are replaced. Fill_na can also be used to replace null values with a value. Let us take the next column for example, hobbies. And we can see that there are 45 null values in this column. To see the unique entries, the unique entries for this column are yes, no, and na. For this column, we'll replace the null values with yes. To do that, now if we check the null values again, we can see that the null values are replaced. And as we can see, the unique entries are only yes and no. Another method of replacing null values using fill_na is by using forward fill, ffill, or backward fill, bfill. What forward fill does is it will replace null values with the value just before it, and backward fill will replace the null values with the values after it. For showing this, I'm using the next column, currency description. First, we will print the first 15 lines of this column using the head function. Now this will give us the first 15 lines of the column currency description. Now we'll replace the NaN values using forward fill method. Specify the method forward fill and in place equal to true. And we once again use the head function to see the output. And as we can see, all the NaN values are replaced by the values in front of it. NaN pound sterling. Now let's try backward fill on age column. For that, we print the first 15 lines of age column. We then use fill NA with backward fill. Filling with backward fill, and once again you can use a head function. Now we can see the null values are replaced with the values after the null values, which in this case 25 is copied to the values in front of it. Now if we want to set a limit of 1 to these functions, it will change only one null value. For example, in this case, since it was 25, all three null values behind this were changed. So instead of that, if you want to change only one null value, we can set a limit to 1. To do that, I'm modifying this command equal to 1, and I'm rerunning the complete kernel. As we can see from the example, only one null value is changed and then it moves to the next null value. In the next section of our tutorial, we will look at various Python functions such as describe, sample, group by, largest, and smallest.